Hello and welcome. My name's Romelia. I'm an indie author, and since I don't really have a consistent writing routine, I thought, hey, why not try someone else's? And I decided on Haruki Murakami, who has written Kafka on the Shore, Norwegian Wood, and a lot of other books. First of all, the reason I decided to do his routine specifically was because while I have seen other people do different writers' writing routines, most of them has done the same authors. Like Stephen King is super popular, and I understand it, Stephen King is a big name. So Murakami's routine is he gets up at 4 a.m. and work for 5 to 6 hours, and then in the afternoon he runs for 10 kilometers or swim for 1500 meters, or both. I will not do any swimming because I do not have access to a pool and it's way too cold to go and swim in a lake right now. And then he reads a bit and listens to some music, and he goes to bed at 9 p.m. And he does this every day. So I will try doing that for a week. Now, I am very much not the fittest person on the planet, which is why I thought, hey, this will be exciting. But so what I will do is I will wake up 4 a.m. I will take an hour to get ready, have some breakfast, make some coffee, maybe stretching, just waking up. And that's also because I would like to actually eat breakfast. And then I will be writing from 5 a.m. and I will focus on working on the translation of Keep Me Breathing. So I won't be drafting, I will be translating during that time. And since his routine is 5 to 6 hours of work, I have decided to split that up into two. So I will do 3 hours of translations, and then I will do 3 hours of working on the cover. That means I will be done at around 11, and I can have lunch and, spend some time working on videos or anything I need to get done. And I will also focus on practice driving motorcycle. And then I will go for the run in the afternoon. And then in the evening I will read a bit and spend some time with my partner, listen to some music. But for my reading, I went to my library because it feels like a given that if I'm gonna try an author's writing routine, if that routine involves reading, I will read his book. So I have picked up the English translation of Norwegian Wood as well as Kafka on the Shore. And I have also picked up Murakami's non-fiction book, Novelist as a Vocation. This one I did pick up the Swedish translation of. Use your libraries. So I will try to get through these books this week. We'll see how far I get. I have no idea what these books are about. I'm going in blind. So yeah, let's get into it and see how it goes. So it is currently 4:26 in the morning, which I have not woken up this early more than once in a row. So this will be exciting. I probably should have gotten to bed earlier yesterday, but I have not been sleep scheduling. The sleep schedule has not been scheduling. So this will be exciting, but I do feel kind of awake. I don't feel like a zombie, so that's good. It is very cold though. In the middle of the day it's very warm. Right now it is not. The first part of Murakami's routine is get up at 4 and work for 5 to 6 hours, which is what I will do. I may need to work on Wrapped in Ocean today because I am a bit behind schedule, and it is supposed to go out to beta readers today, so we're gonna make sure that happens, hopefully. Okay, so it is currently 6:14 and I am moving over to my desktop because I need to charge my laptop. I don't really have a good outlet to charge it while I use it when I'm on the couch. But yeah, so I will move over. I'm almost done with Act 2 and then I only have Act 3 left. I'm gonna make some tea and then head over to the desktop. But the sun is up and I do still feel kind of the same. Maybe it's the coffee working or the sun or freaking cold. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna light a candle or some candles and make some tea and continue writing. So it's almost 8 o'clock. There's still ice on the grass, so it's pretty cold outside. At least it looks that way. I am getting kind of tired, and I don't know how Murakami does his working part of the schedule, if it's just 6 hours straight, no break. I'm taking a tiny break, pretty much just to record this and reset my brain. But yeah, this now is like the time when normal people get up. I just saw my first person walking by, but I will just take a tiny break and then get back to work. And I also realized that I should have eaten breakfast because I'm getting a bit hungry, but it's also like I have lunch scheduled for 11. I feel like it's not far enough away to justify eating something big. I don't know, I don't think I have anything small. Okay, so it is 10:30 now, and I now only have Act 3 left. 4 kilometers down out of 10. This man must be in great shape, you know? Because I am dead. This probably also would have been easier if I had actually slept more than 4 hours, but we'll figure this out. I will figure this out. 5 more kilometers. Let's go. Okay, I have 2 kilometers left. Almost there, and I have it pinpointed. I know where I need to go and turn, and I think I'll be there if my math is correct, which I'm just gonna pretend it is. It's day 2 and it's currently 4:30, but I've been making some food because I learned from my mistake yesterday that I will be very hungry kind of close to lunch otherwise. So yeah, and it's also, you know, better to have some breakfast, preferably before my coffee. I've also been answering some beta reader emails and messages because I didn't record much in the evening yesterday, but I sent out Wrapped in Ocean to a few of my beta readers. But yeah, I'm a bit sore, especially in my back, which I think is because I sat on the couch most of the time yesterday. But yeah. Okay, so I might be a bit lost. I decided to try a different route, and I was like, oh, but there's a path up here. Yeah, I ended up by the big bat killer machines. And according to the maps, like I know the road home. There's a big ass road here. But according to maps, it's 14 kilometers home. I'm not sure. Hopefully it's closer. Otherwise I will just have to like turn around. But I think I've gotten like 3 kilometers down. I believe. I'm guesstimating. Because the path I went on, I will have to measure it out later. Somehow. We're on day 3 and I seriously considered just quitting this whole challenge thing today, because when I woke up I wasn't tired, but I really struggled to focus, and then I decided that like, oh, I'm gonna try and run in the evening instead of like after lunch. And I think this is the part of this whole routine that I am growing very tired of, because it's hard. I am in pain pretty much everywhere. My shoulders hurt, my legs hurt, my feet hurt, and it's really hard to fit everything in, because this takes roughly 2 hours, and that's a lot of time that I could spend doing other things. Not necessarily like being productive, but like spending time with my partner, because I feel stressed in the evenings when I get home, and it's like, yeah, I only have 2 hours after being out driving, and I need to read and relax before bed, so I don't feel like I can spend as much time with my partner as I want to. But it's only for a week, and tomorrow is the midpoint. If we make it past tomorrow, we'll be fine. I am a little bit over halfway. I am pretty sure I have pulled something in my left leg. I can walk, but as soon as I start to try to run, it just hurts all the way up my lower leg, so I'm probably gonna walk the rest of the way today, and hopefully it will be better tomorrow. If I can't run 10 kilometers, I'm gonna walk 10 kilometers, okay? I'm not gonna quit just because of a little bit of pain. I'm just gonna modify. Okay, so we're on day 4, and I am really struggling to focus. For 2 days now, I have managed to translate a chapter a day, and I have currently translated 4 sentences in a few hours because I just keep getting distracted. I don't know. I have worked on the cover. I actually started working on the cover first thing in the morning instead of afterwards because it felt a lot easier to actually do. But yeah, and I will probably walk my 10 kilometers today instead of running because my legs still hurt. I do feel like being outside for 2 hours and moving and waking up early, seeing the sunrise and going to bed early, like I have had more energy and I have felt happier, and I've also fallen asleep a lot quicker, and like I feel like I have slept better. There's been a lot of good things coming in this challenge, at least the first few days. I think I will just have to push through. We're on day 5 and I feel a lot better today than I did yesterday. I did skip out on my motorcycle driving yesterday because I was not really feeling it. Everything was just hard to focus on yesterday, but today I'm feeling a lot better. I was a bit tired when I woke up this morning, but surprisingly, it hasn't really been hard to get up at 4 a.m. any of these days. Like, I was tired on the first day, but I still found it easy to get up. So I'm gonna start with translating today, and then I will get working on the cover. And hopefully I will get this chapter done with the translation. Okay, so I'm still sore and I have blisters, is that the word? Blisters from my new shoes. So my partner suggested that I take his bike for 10 kilometers instead. So that's what I'm doing today. While I could stick to like walking or running 10 kilometers, it's way more fun to just try different things while still moving. And like, I know a part of his routine is to do the same thing every day. Clearly, I'm not capable of doing that. So, but okay, why do I go on this side of the road that is smaller? I don't know. But for me, I will feel satisfied if I just do all the things that is included. And since it was either running 10 kilometers or swimming 1500 meters, I feel like bicycling for 10 kilometers is okay. I feel like then the goal is to get some movement in, and I feel like that's a good thing, and I think that's one of the reasons why I have actually been sleeping better and, you know, feeling happier overall. Okay, so we're on day 6 and today was actually the only day that I struggled to get out of bed. I just wanted to stay there for like 3 hours more, and I don't really even know why. I mean, I did lay awake for a while yesterday, but not very long, just like longer than some of the other days. And it's kind of funny when I recorded a part yesterday when I was like, yeah, I feel like it's easier to get up in the morning and I have so much more energy, and then I just woke up and was like, not yet. I still did get up though. But yeah, I think I just need some time to properly wake up. Hopefully some work helps. But yeah. Okay, so we're on the last day, and I'm not gonna lie, I struggled to get up this morning too. And I have kind of woken up now, I feel. I have been a bit more unfocused. But yeah, it's the last day of this Murakami challenge, and it's been really fun, actually. Like, I enjoy, or like I don't enjoy, but I feel a lot better when I have a routine, and getting movement in has also helped very much. Today I'm gonna take my mom's dog with me and actually go for a run again. As you can see, this challenge wasn't easy. Especially not as someone who isn't very active yet. We all should have seen that coming. But I still feel like I learned a lot during this week. One thing was I felt so stressed in the evening because I just felt like I did not have enough time to do everything. I think that was less so the case on days when I didn't go practice driving, but I need to do that. And also, like, yeah, I did not run every day. And the days when I biked, I felt like I had so much more time. And I did not put as much time into reading as I would have liked. Out of the 3 books, I did not even touch this one. I got this far in Norwegian Wood. Not because I don't like the book, it was more like I struggled to focus because I just felt stressed. But I will keep reading this and finishing it. And I will also read Kafka on the Shore, just because I've already checked them out from the library. And while they're not really what I usually read, there's a lot to be learned from reading things you don't usually read. As for the non-fiction book, I did read in this a few nights because it was like easier. It didn't take as much energy from me to read. And I learned a bit more about Murakami's routine. I feel like he has a lot of good points to say, so I will keep reading this book. But one thing was, like, he probably has more time because he goes out running for an hour. And I'm not at a point where I can run a mile in an hour. Not at all. Which is why it took so long for me and I just lost time. So I think had my focus been, okay, I'm gonna go out and run for an hour, it probably would have felt less stressful. That's also why I realized that it's okay that I bike. He has a lot of good points, especially the point of like being active helps the brain. So like keeping your body healthy is good for your focus and you need stamina to write. It feels so obvious, but it's not something I've thought about. And I feel like that's one of the biggest takeaways from this week is that I need to be more active in my everyday life. I also enjoyed having a set wake up time and bedtime, and like I won't go to bed at 9 because I feel like that's too early. Like I miss out on so much of the evening because I really like evenings too. I have come to realize that I am a morning person, but I still love evenings. So maybe I'll go to bed at 11 and wake up at 6. Just moving that same bedtime schedule, that whole sleep schedule, a little bit to the side. And I think that would help me. I really enjoy sitting down writing early in the morning, having it done, and it felt like I could be more productive for the rest of the day. And having that movement really like changed things, because there were times when I was like, oh, I don't want to. I always felt better when I came back, when I had done it. Like after like an hour outside in the fresh air, I felt happier, and I think that's something I will take with me and use in my everyday life. Was it hard to follow Murakami's writing routine? Yes, especially when I had other things to do as well, but I don't regret it, not a single bit. Like maybe I should have like spread out my running days and biked in between, walked in between, but I really felt like I gained a lot of knowledge about myself. Like I said, I chose this one because I haven't really seen anyone follow this routine specifically, and I felt like it would be a bit more interesting to see. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great adventure, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!